Alright, welcome to another part of Let's Play Japan and Victoria 2. And today, I'm going to be focusing on all this westernization shit. We just westernized. That's awesome. First off, let's take a look at our techs. We now have a bunch more techs. However... It was to my understanding that if I had water wheel, I would start with this. Well, I suppose that was wrong. Apologies for that. I thought I'd have this as well. Well, that was wrong. Either way, there's a lot of stuff we need to get. So, first off, I always get philosophy texts first. Culture, philosophy, idealism. Very important that you always get these. Because, look at this, 50% more research points. That's big. Yeah, that would... It's not going to actually give us 50% more because it would just add to this. Well, it actually might. But still, this 50% is massive. And you want to get these as soon as possible. Like, I mean, as soon as it becomes available, it should be what you're doing. Because it allows you... It's just the most efficient way to get stuff. After I get that, I'm going to be getting positivism. Because that's going to allow our education to go up. Our education efficiency is going to go up, which will get our literacy higher. Something we want because it gives us even more research points. I want to be on the bleeding edge of technology, and we're already about, what is that, 16 years behind. We got to do some catch up. But now, since we are the shogunate faction, that's not something we should be. Let's be state capitalism. This is the economic policy we want. Because while I do want to be making factories myself, like you can do in a planned economy, I want capitalists to also make factories. And I want them to start generating capital, getting some money. So that's why I'm going to move to this one. Because they have state capitalism, which allows for capitalists to still do stuff, but the government can also do things. And so, now we're going to really need to start focusing on our economy. Let's just play this out a day. Okay. Now this has been lowered. Now I'm going to actually start focusing on my economy and doing it as efficiently as possible. First off, I'm going to explain why I have a 100% tax rate. Someone criticized me on this before, but believe me, there's a reason behind it. I want, this might sound mean, but it's a game. I want the poor to be as poor as possible. Because when a laborer doesn't get enough at the end of the month and he's poor, he becomes a craftsman. When a farmer doesn't have enough money, he becomes a craftsman. And I'm going to also want my military spending to be pretty low as well. Because if the soldier gets paid more than the craftsman, when these guys convert, they'll become a soldier. I want them to become a craftsman and a craftsman only. So I want these guys to be as poor as possible so they become workers in my factories. Sounds kind of shitty, but, well, it's a game. Now I'm going to have the middle class and the rich people, they're going to have as low taxes as possible. I want as many of these guys as possible to become capitalists. And I want the capitalists to stay capitalists. So I'm going to have these taxes on as low as possible, so I have the maximum amount of capitalists to build factories for me in the future. And tariffs. What this is it is a tax on your imports. I'm going to be putting this as low as I can for now. Because what this is actually going to end up doing is it's going to affect the profitability of my factories. Because I'm going to have to import stuff. I do not have a massive empire like Russia or like the UK. I will have to import some things down the line, and I want those to be as cheap as possible for my capitalists. So while I can't put it at 0 like I would like to, 25 is going to have to do. Now this, we already have our administration as high as we need it. I'm going to move this down to 70%. Education, we don't really need that high, because it really is just the wages of your clergymen. So I'm going to move that to 85. Now, national focuses matter again. I'm going to be encouraging... should I do capitalist to craftsman? I think we should do capitalists at first. Let's look at the two most populous regions. I always just like to have one of them be my capital region. And this one looks like it's the second most populous. So let's do capitalists there. And now, let's make us some factories. So, what should we build? Something I always recommend doing is looking at your RGO output. In our capital region, we are making silk, tobacco, and grain. Now, what can you make with those? Well, silk lets you make luxury clothes. Tobacco, it's not really that useful. And grain is used in liquor. Something that we are exporting quite a lot of already. And so in this region, I'm going to be making liquor. Just because we have grain in the region, it gives you some bonuses if it's in the same region. Now I'm going to be making glass as well because it'll give a bonus to this liquor factory. We're going to have to import coal to use in this glass factory, but like I said, it's going to have to happen somewhere. We are also already making cloth or fabric here. So how about we make some regular clothes? And since we are making silk in the province, let's make some luxury clothes. Look at that, quite a lot just in one province already. It's all because we saved up the money. Now this other one where we're encouraging capitalists, we have a lot of tea and grain and precious metal. Tea is not really useful in factories, but this grain is also, is useful. So let's make a liquor distillery in Kansai. Is that what it's called? Apparently it is. Kansai. We're going to make some grain. Let's put some grass. Grass? Wow. I need to learn how to talk. Let's put some glass in there as well. It'll help that liquor factory. And that's all I'm going to be focusing on that region for now. We'll let the capitalists decide what else gets built in there. Now in this one we have not really much that's useful. What are you going to do? So, I'm just going to stop the factory building at that right now. We're going to be making some railroads. Hold control and click to build in all provinces in this state or region. So yeah, all of them. Nice. There we are. Now it can't be built on these because these are hills, which if you look here, just can't be done. They're hills. You'll be able to build them in those when you have a higher railroad tech. Hills are -1, so I would need 2 to be able to build a level 1 railroad there. And mountains are -2, I believe, so I would need a level 3 railroad tech to be able to build 1. Sucks, but it has to happen. Alright, it's control, not shift. My bad. Let's build some more there. And there. 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 Let's build some in Korea too, which is a state. Korea is all states because I decided to invade them early. Which is good. So we're building railroads and all those now. Very good. And we have our taxes set to good things. Same with our tariffs. We're making factories. We're researching. I think we're just about ready to actually start playing the game. Industrialization, in westernization, everything, whatever all that stuff is. So, let's get this going. Took a little bit to set up, but I want to do it properly. Yeah, let's placate the poor. So we got another crises over some Greek provinces that the Ottomans own. Thessalia. Which is this one. They're the one on the border. Which is predominantly Greek, so I'm just going to go ahead and say, give it to them, Ottomans. I would join in if I was a great power, but can't do that yet because I'm a secondary power. And looks like we're making quite a bit of money. You know, that's I'm going to lower my tariffs a bit and see if I still make money. Yeah, look at that. Still making money. Let's lower it to 10. Oh, must have just opened up the resource. Yeah. This is going to bounce up and down a bit because we're buying resources for factories, as well as a bunch of railroads. If we look at the cement demand right now, it's probably skyrocketed. Yep, 400. Bet you a lot of that's us. And let's take a look at steel. Yep. Once again, probably a lot of that is us. Yep. Let's take a look and see how that factory was doing. We are subsidizing it. Let's see if we unsubsidize it for a day. Is it still doing well? Yeah, it's still doing alright. What this subsidizing does is if the factory doesn't have enough money at the end of the day, they're gonna start, like, cutting workers and that kind of stuff. What I want to make sure is early on, this subsidization is paying for what they don't have at the end of the day. So, I'm just making sure that this factory is constantly employing as many people as possible, which is what I want. And also, if you look, since I'm encouraging capitalists, hold on, got a nice little revolt. Let's deal with that for a second. Alright. Since I'm encouraging capitalists, we already have quite a few capitalists that have started making their own factories, which is awesome. It's exactly what I wanted. And looks like they're not even having any trouble gaining enough money to make these factories, which is great. And early on, I'm going to be subsidizing everything because I want every single factory to hire as many people as possible, regardless of whether it's actually a profitable factory. That's just because I need my capitalists to have as much money as possible right now. It's in an early stage where I will take the hit on the money. I just want them to gain it as fast as possible because in the long run, that will help. Because in the long run, then they will have more money to be able to build more factories. And look at that, we're going to be a great power. But they'll have more money, so they will make all the factories by themselves, and sooner or later I will not have to subsidize them because what is profitable will be determined by them. So while I'm going to be subsidizing for a while, maybe once my industry is self-sustaining, I will get rid of that. Looks like we got a bunch of flashpoint tension over in Korea. Let's just take a look and yeah, this liberation movement's bad. We gotta suppress that. We do not want a crisis over Korea. That would be really bad. Like, super, super bad. And why are there two factions of reactionaries? That's not normal. Does it say something different of what they want? Yes, these reactionaries are the ones that want to go back to not being westernized, while these reactionaries are the ones that just want to put like a different kind of monarch in power. Alright, we've got sufficiently low infamy to invade, and now that we are a civilized nation and they are not, we can establish a protectorate, which only gives us a maximum of 10 infamy to invade. Much lower, but it's also going to give us a colony, not a state, which is a bit different, but I'll explain that later. So, just take a look at this. This Korean population is 25.49. Is that going down? Are people assimilating? Is that going up? No. Can't be going up. That's really weird. Alright, we'll check back and see if that goes up. Right now we're losing a lot of money, though. Should I knock up the tariffs a bit? I don't think so. These, what's costing me all the money? Construction still. Yeah? No. Alright, so that was only 4.8 infamy on Johor. Not much. Might as well get the fleet ready. Which I'm going to have to be making a new fleet sooner or later. Oh, right. Actually, since now that we are civilized, I can make naval bases. And it's something I should do right away. You can only make one naval base per state. But that's alright. These naval bases allow you to make better ships, and they also increase your supply limit for those ships. So we want to make them as soon as possible. Now let's take a look. How are these railroads coming along? Not at all. Okay. Why is that? What can you not get? Oh, they're having trouble getting steel. It looks like they're finally starting to get some of it. And soon, we are going to be a great power. We are rank 8. It will just take us a year to kick out the Ottomans. They are given a year to, you know, get their shit together, which they're not going to. So, we'll be a great power sooner or later. Which opens up a few things for us. Allows us to be involved in crises. And it'll allow us to put people in our sphere of influence. Which basically ensures that all their resources go to us and gives us a much better chance of getting an alliance with them. Now let's invade Johor. Should be a relatively easy war. We do have a really shit army still, but I'll be modernizing that soon. So let's just get those guys over there. Should be an easy invasion. Oh, cool. Just get your free press, goddammit. I will be supporting a reform whenever possible. It makes people a lot happier, and, I mean, fuck, I don't care if you have meetings. It doesn't really affect me that much. I mean, it just gives me less suppression points, which I find, you know, you never have them with or without that, so. I just prefer that the people are happier, because then they won't revolt as much. Are we gonna get a... we might get a crisis there. That's really bad. Oh, man. Yeah, it looks like the next crisis is gonna be over in Korea. That's really disappointing. I was kind of hoping I would keep Korea. Man, crises, they kick you in the ass. As you can see by our other Let's Play. Me and Jeremy. Oh shit, we lost a ship. Come on, kill him. We're modernized, you're not. Heck, fine. Man, we're Dynam. They're the big guys, aren't they? Yeah, I'm not scared of them. They only got 36,000 men. We got almost 150,000. We win. Let's just take a quick look. How are our factories doing? Wow, look at that. We've got a lot of factories. One in every single state, region, whatever it is. That's awesome. Only thing is our capitalists aren't trying to build anything else yet. Well, I suppose they're just waiting for their initial investments to, you know, pull through. Alright, you are there. Drop off the men. Hopefully they don't die in the time that they're taking to just get off the boats. Oh, there they are. Okay. I actually don't think I'm going to need to send any more men. Because they only have an army of 9,000. Yep. Look at that. Great power. Whew, look at that. That's awesome. People are going to be real happy with us. We're rank 7 also. Wow. Our industry, still shit. But once all these factories start opening up, the Japanese Empire is going to be awesome. Well, looks like the Philippines never became a thing. What do you do? I was kind of hoping it would, but didn't happen. No free land for us. And how is the flashpoint tension over here? Really bad. It's 100, so that's gonna become a crisis at some point. Whew. Anyway, we almost have our literacy up to 40. That's good. We're getting more and more research points. And after we get this idealism, we're going to get even more. Which is super useful. Look at that, 40 now. Actually, I said I was going to take a look at Korea. Yeah, there are more people. We are getting more Koreans. Why? You're getting a growth of a lot. 73, you're getting less, apparently. That's weird. You go to the capital. Okay, now that we're modernized, this actually means something. Let's explain the politics system. So, we have conservatives, reactionaries, and liberals right now. And they all will... My upper house determines what kind of reforms I can do. The reactionaries want to see these reforms go up. They want to see ruling party only. They want to see slavery. First past the post. That kind of stuff. Whereas the conservatives, they just want to keep things how they are. They want to conserve the situation. The liberals want to move this down farther. They want to see based on population, universal voting, proportional representation. So since we have a majority of conservatives, you can just see, you know, we're not going to get any reforms. And we don't have a majority of liberals or reactionaries, so we're not going to be going up or down. Social reforms don't really matter quite yet. We don't have socialists. These will come into play later on in the 70s and 80s. And more into the future then. Since we don't have any movements to support voting or anything of that sort, we're just going to have no more... We're not going to have any reforms. If we had a big movement, some conservatives might vote yes for some kind of reforms. I don't think reactionaries ever will. Or if they will, it's pretty negligible. But if we had a movement, some conservatives might vote. So that means that you might have like a 25.7% amount of liberals in your upper house. But if you have a movement, you still might get a reform or two. So since I want reforms, I'm going to not be suppressing those kind of movements. And actually, I forgot to explain. We have appointed upper house. What this means is that we get to choose, not we, but the AI does its thing. We choose the upper house. Now, I have found this tends to reflect only the aristocrats' views. Actually, the capitalists might be in there as well, but normally it's just the aristocrats. As we can see here, 56.6% of them are capitalists. If we look here, 56.2%. Almost the same. It doesn't tend to represent the people's ideologies, just the aristocrats. Whereas if we had based on population, then it would be based on the people's ideologies. Let's chase him down. Such a small army, we should be able to crush it. Come on. Die. Yes. Excellent. Just leave him there. Get this idealism. Should be done in just a second. There we are. Now look at that. We're getting 14. Just made us jump by 3. Doesn't seem too big, but believe me, it is. Also, our industry score is starting to go up. We're getting more factories. That's good. These ones aren't profitable, but we're making sure they stay alive by subsidizing them. We don't really care if they're profitable. We just want them to be there. Let's take a look. See how many capitalists do we have. We have 2,000, and that's growing. It's a growing number. That's good. But we don't have enough workers. So I'm going to keep this one on capitalists. But over here, I'm going to switch this to craftsmen. We need more workers. You go conquer Johor Bahru. Let's see, can we get peace? Do you? No. 85%. We don't have that yet. And look at over here. We have a lot of inventions we can get. None of them are too likely to happen every month. But eventually we're going to get all these. And that's fine. See, we just got one. That raised our plurality value, which, if you take a look in politics over here, you can see right there. And what that does is it affects your research points. You want more plurality. That's good. It's a good thing. So, higher that number is, the more research points you get. So, cool, right? I don't really understand why that point system with plurality is even there, but, you know, it is. So, make the most of it. Alright. So I think we're going to have to negotiate this peace with Dynam, because they're probably the leader of the war. Are they? Yes, they are. So I suppose I might be able to... take some land off them in this war. They got quite a bit. Maybe take the north half. What kind of resources do they have up there? A lot of wheat. Tobacco in the south. I like the wheat more. We can make liquor. And we also are importing a bunch. So, we're going to need it. Can we go negotiate peace with you? Yeah, it looks like we can. Of course not. Fuck you. We had the war score, they just didn't want it. Come on, get that. Come on. And so, our industry score is now 16. You know, it's been a little bit since we've industrialized, but yeah, it takes a bit. Our capitalists aren't doing too much, and we don't have that many workers. Let's expand that factory. It's profitable, right? Yeah, 6. Glass factories early on are especially profitable, as well as cement factories. Can I make those? Yes, I can. Might as well make one of those in my other populated regions. Yeah, alright. Got another invention, and are we done sieging that place? Yeah, we are. Awesome. Let's get peace with them. Now they have to say yes. Cool. They want that. Don't think so. They would accept white peace. Should I get it? Well, we'll find out. This has been part 3 of Let's Play Japan, Victoria 2. And I'll see you guys next time.